This is part 2 of a summary of Decolonizing Palestine, the Land, the People, the Bible by Mitri Raheb. I ended last time with the idea that Christians have played a key role in Israel's settler colonialism. Let's dig into this key topic. You might suppose that Zionism was invented by Jewish people, but Raheb digs into the history and shows us how Christian Zionism precedes Jewish Zionism by half a century. Raheb goes into way more detail than I have time for here. But for a very simplified overview, Zionism first developed within the British Empire in the 1800s by politicians who were Christians who conveniently found religious justification for a project that would kill two birds with one stone. First, they wanted to take over the Palestinian region as part of the British imperial project, and second, they wanted to get all the Jews out of Britain and to prevent even more poor Eastern European Jews from migrating in. So, as early as the 1830s, they had the grand idea that, hey, wouldn't it be so good and holy of us to return the Jewish people to their ancient land? And wouldn't it be so convenient, too, because the Jews were being so generous, too, could help us control Palestine? Very long story short, Britain got the League of Nations to agree with this plan, explicitly called a settler colonial project in 1920. So that was already underway as World War II began. By the end of the war, Britain was severely weakened and could no longer control its vast empire. So they officially handed Palestine over to become Israel in 1948. This was presented as reparations of a sort for the horrors of the Holocaust, but it was also, yet again, a convenient way to get Jews out of Europe and the United States and Canada, and the rest of the Western world, by encouraging them to move to the Holy Land. Anti-Semitism did not end with the Holocaust. So yeah, that's a very simplified version of how modern Israel came to be. It was and is backed by Western powers, many of whom support Israel in order to maintain a foothold in the oil-rich Middle East. Imperialism never ended. It just has a new face. Mitri Raheb sums it up. Today, empire is bigger than one state, nation, or military power. Israel is part of this empire and is sustained by it, with supplies of hardware, such as submarines, F-35 fighter jets, the Iron Dome, and political backing. Additionally, the empire provides Israel with the software of a biblical blueprint that paints colonial practices with theological justifications of a promised land and chosen people. I'll talk more about the use of scripture and theology in Zionist propaganda in the next video.